May I request if we can, start little high, get it going. If possible, maybe
5:15.
5:15. How is that?
Yes.
Fine.
Possible?
Yes.
Then you can leave early. It's very cold. Huh?
Yes.
Yes. And some come from here, there. Okay. That's good. Thank you very much.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद सभी मिली कृपा करी करम करुणा अधम पतित जने ना करी घृणा Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 14, Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastime, verse 71. চৈতন্য চাপল্য দেখি প্রেমে সর্বজন সচি জগন্নাথে দেখি দেন ওলাহন. When the neighboring people saw the naughty behavior of Lord Chaitanya, out of love for him, they lodged complaints with Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra. একদিন সচি দেবী পুত্রে ভৎসিয়া ধরিবারে গেলা পুত্র গেলা পলাইলা. One day Mother Sachi went to catch her son, wanting to rebuke him, but he fled from the spot. উচ্ছিষ্ট গর্তে ত্যক্ত হান্ডির উপর বসিয়াছেন সুখে প্রভু দেব বিশ্বম্ভর. Although he is the maintainer of the entire universe, the Lord sat upon some rejected pots in the pit where the remnants of food were thrown after the pots had been used for cooking. Formerly, it was the custom of Brahmanas to worship Lord Vishnu daily at home and cook food in new pots. This system is still going on in Jagannath Puri. The food would be cooked in earthen pots, all fresh and new, and after cooking, the pots would thrown away. By the side of the house, there was generally a big pit where such pots were thrown. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down on the pots very pleasingly, just to give his mother a lesson. Sochiyashi kahe kene asuchi chuila Ganga snan kora jai apavitra hoila. When Mother Sachi saw her boy sitting in the rejected pots, she protested, "Why have you touched these untouchable pots? You have now become impure. Go and bathe in the Ganges." ইহা শুনি মাতাকে কহিল ব্রহ্মজ্ঞান বিস্মিতা হইয়া মাতা করাইল স্নান. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught his mother about absolute knowledge. Although amazed by this, his mother forced him to take bath. But the absolute knowledge explained by the Lord to his mother is described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya as follows. The Lord said, "Mother, no basis in fact. You have cooked food for Lord Vishnu within these pots and offered the food to him. How then can these pots be untouchable? Everything in relationship with Vishnu is to be considered an expansion of Vishnu's energy. Vishnu, the super soul, is eternal and uncontaminated. How then may these pots be considered pure or impure? Hearing this discourse on absolute knowledge, his mother was very much astonished and forced him to take a bath. কবুপুত্র সঙ্গে শচী করিল শয়ন, দেখে দিব্য লোক আসি ভরিল ভুবন. Sometimes, taking her son with her, Mother Sachi would lie down on her bed and she would see that denizens of the celestial world had come there, filling the entire house. শচী বলে যাহ পুত্র বলা হবা পেরে, মাতৃ আজ্ঞা পাইয়া প্রভু চলিলা বাহিরে. Once Mother Sachi told the Lord, please go call your father. Receiving this order from his mother, the Lord went out to call him. চলিতে চরণে নূপুর বাজে ঝন ঝন, শুনি চমকিত হইল পিতা মাতার মন. When the child was going out, there was a tinkling of ankle bells from his lotus feet. Hearing this, his father and mother were struck with wonder. মিশ্র কহে এই বড় অদ্ভুত কাহিনী, শিশুর শূন্য পদে কেন নূপুরের ধ্বনি. Jagannath Mishra said, this is a very wonderful incident. Why is there a sound of ankle bells from the bare feet of my child? শচী কহে আর এক অদ্ভুত দেখিল, দিব্য দিব্য লোক আসি অঙ্গন ভরিল. Mother Sachi said, I also saw another wonder. People were coming down from the celestial kingdom and crowding the entire courtyard. কিবা কোলাহল করে বুঝিতে না পারি, কাহাকে বা স্তুতি করে অনুমান করি. They made noisy sounds. I could not understand. I guess they were offering prayers to someone. মিশ্র বলে কিছু হোক চিন্তা কিছু নাই, বিশ্বম্ভরের কুশল হোক এই মাত্র চাই. Jagannath Mishra replied, never mind what it is. There is no need to worry. Let there always be good fortune for Vishwambar. This is all I want. একদিন মিশ্র পুত্রের চাপল্য দেখিয়া, ধর্ম শিক্ষা দিল বহু ভৎসন করিয়া. On another occasion, Jagannath Mishra, seeing the mischievous acts of his son, gave him lessons in morality after rebuking him greatly. রাত্রে স্বপন দেখে এক আশি ব্রাহ্মণ, মিশ্রে কহে কিছু সরস বচন. On that very night, Jagannath Mishra dreamed that a Brahmana had come before him, speaking these words in great anger. মিশ্র তুমি পুত্রের তত্ত্ব কিছু না জানো, ভৎসন তারণ কর পুত্র করি মানো. My dear Mishra, you do not know anything about your son. You think him your son, and therefore you rebuke and chastise him. মিশ্র গ্রহে দেব সিদ্ধ মুনি কেনে নয়, যে সে বড় হোক মাত্র আমারও তো নয়. Jagannath Mishra replied, this boy may be a demigod, a mystic yogi, or a saintly person. It does not matter what he is, for I think he is only my son. পুত্রের লালন শিক্ষা আমি না শিখালে কইছে জানিবে ধর্ম মর্ম. It is the duty of a father to educate his son in both religion and morality. If I do not give him this education, how will he know of it? বিপ্র কহে পুত্র যদি দৈব সিদ্ধ হয়, স্বতঃসিদ্ধ জ্ঞানে তবে শিক্ষা ব্যর্থ হয়. The Brahmana replied, if your son is a transcendental mystic boy with self-effulgent perfect knowledge, what is the use of your education? Purport: The Brahmana Jagannath Mishra saw in his dream told him that His son was not an ordinary human being. If he were a transcendental person, he would have self-effulgent knowledge, and thus there would be no need to educate him. মিশ্র কহে পুত্র জ্ঞানে নহে নারায়ণ তথাপি পিতার ধর্ম পুত্রের শিক্ষণ. Jagannath Mishra replied, if my son is not a common man but Narayan, still it is the duty of a father to instruct his son. এই মতে দুহে করেন ধর্মের বিচার বিশুদ্ধ বাৎসল্য মিশ্রের নাহি জানে আর. In this way, Jagannath Mishra and the Brahmana discussed the principles of religion in the dream. Yet Jagannath Mishra was absorbed in unalloyed parental mellow and did not want to know anything else. Purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped with exalted hymns by all the Vedas and Upanishads and by great personalities through Sankhya Yoga in the mode of goodness, was considered by Mother Yashoda and Nanda to be their own little son. Similarly, Jagannath Mishra also considered Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his beloved little boy. Although he is worshipped with all veneration by learned Brahmanas and saintly persons. এত শুনি দ্বিজ গেলা হয়া আনন্দিত মিশ্র জাগিয়া হইলা পরম বিস্মিত. Being very pleased, the Brahmana left after talking with Jagannath Mishra, and when Jagannath Mishra awakened from his dream, he was very much astonished. বন্ধু বান্ধব স্থানে স্বপন কহিল শুনিয়া সকল লোক বিস্মিত হইল. He related the dream to his friends and relatives, and every one of them was very much astonished to hear of it. এই মত শিশুলীলা করে গৌরচন্দ্র দিনে দিনে পিতা মাতার বাড়ায় আনন্দ. In this way, Gauravani performed his childhood pastimes, and day after day increased the pleasure of his parents. কতদিনে মিশ্রপুত্রের হাতে খড়ি দিল অল্প দিনে দ্বাদশ ফলা অক্ষর শিখিল. After some days, Jagannath Mishra inaugurated the primary education of his son by performing the Hatekhori ceremony. Within a very few days, the Lord learned all the letters and combinations of letters. The 12 phala or combination of letters are called Rep, Murdhanya, No, Dantobya, No, Mo, Yo, Ro, Lo, Bo, Ro, Ro. Hatekhori is the primary educational beginning. At the age of 4 or 5 years, on an auspicious day called Vidyarambha, marking the beginning of primary education, there is a ceremony worshipping Lord Vishnu, and after that, the teacher gives the child a long chalk pencil. Then, guiding the hand of the student, he instructs him how to write the letters of the alphabet by writing big letters on the floor. When the child is a little advanced in writing, he is given a slate for his primary education, which ends when he learns the 2-letter combinations, which are called phala, as mentioned above. বাল্য লীলা সূত্র এই কইল অনুক্রম ইহা বিস্তারিয়াছেন দাস বৃন্দাবন. This is a synopsis.
Make some room, please. Come forward. I understand. Yes, some room there. There, pass it. Please do it. Too many people. Suffocating.
এটা নেই তো না This is a synopsis of the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, placed herewith in chronological order. Vrindavan Das Thakur has already elaborately explained these pastimes in his book Chaitanya Bhagavat. অতএব এই লীলা সংক্ষেপে সূত্র কইল পুনরুক্তি ভয়ে বিস্তারিয়া না কহিল I have therefore made only a brief summary, being afraid of repetition. I have not elaborated upon the subject matter. Shirupa Raghunath Pade Jar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following at their lotus steps. Chapter 15, the Lord's Pauganda Lila. Shunahar Pono Macheno Tam Chaitanya Prabhum Bhaja. A synopsis of 15th chapter is as follows. The Lord took lessons in grammar from Gangadas Pandit and became very expert in commenting upon grammar. He forbade his mother to take grains on the ekadashi day. He narrated a story that Vishwarup, after accepting the Sannyas order, invited him in a dream to accept Sannyas also. But the Lord refused and was therefore sent back home. When Jagannath Mishra passed away, the Lord married the daughter of Vallabhacharya, whose name was Lakshmi. All these events are summarized in this chapter. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya because simply by offering a flower at his lotus feet, even the most ardent materialist become a devotee.
On me. This Lakshmi, read before, those who attended the class. What is said in the script, in the book, Lakshmi past Lord's Leela, what you are?
Rukmini and
Sita Rukmini.
Janaki and Rukmini?
yes.
Rukmini, maybe Vishnu Priya Rukmini.
No,
Lakshmi Priya.
mentioned
She too, both of them.
Lakshmi Priya.
yesterday mentioned Rukmini
And
and Janaki.
Janaki together.
Both.
Everybody heard? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Everybody is not saying yes. What you are saying yes still? What is the people?
Janaki, Rukmini,
Lakshmi Priya. Priya, Lakshmi. কি শুনছো ভাই? হ্যাঁ বলো না কি শুনছো? কে বলবে?
Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Priya, Rukmini Devi, और Janaki Devi.
Everybody heard? Yes?
Yes.
Hey, outside, yes? একদম আছে? Vignesh?
Lakshmi Priya is Janaki and Rukmini Devi is Vishnu Priya.
They're saying that both of them are. Can you go back? check out.
Yeah, it's there.
Huh?
Was there yesterday.
One.
Both Janaki and
She was in the past.
Rukmini,
Janaki
both were
and then Rukmini.
Lakshmi Priya in last life. It was
Yes, make sure. Fact
Better
check.
make sure.
Fact check.
Check out.
like
Check out the fact.
when she met first.
Where about?
When she met Mahaprabhu at the Ganga
Mahaprabhu met near the ghat.
Ghat.
Taking bath.
After the teasing the girl.
Yeah.
Taking currency ghat. Rukmini is Lakshmi. That is said.
The purport.
Gauravani says, according to Lakshmi was formerly Janaki, the wife of Lord Ramachandra, and Rukmini, the wife of Lord Krishna in Dwarka.
Which shloka?
The same.
Both. Lakshmi was both.
14.62.
62. Okay.
The same goddess of
Yeah.
fortune descended as Lakshmi to become.
According to Gauravani's Deepika, Lakshmi was formerly Janaki, the wife of Lord Ramachandra, and Rukmini, the wife of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. The same goddess of fortune descends as Lakshmi to become the wife of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Very hard, yes?
Yes.
Who will tell? Who will tell?
Lakshmi Priya is she is a form of the Janaki and the
Janaki, huh?
Rukmini.
Yes. Everybody hard, yes?
Yes.
ও আচ্ছা কিছু বোঝা গেল যারা বাংলা হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বিশাখা বলবি বাংলায় বলে দে।
লক্ষ্মীপ্রিয়া দেবী, জানকী দেবী এবং রূপমণি দেবী
দুজনে এই লক্ষ্মী
Both are same.
হ্যাঁ কি বলবে
लक्ष्मी देवी जानकी विष्णु के
না
Not Lakshmi Devi. Janaki Priya.
लक्ष्मी प्रिय
Janaki Devi and Rukmani ji same Lakshmi Priya.
yes
Yes.
everybody heard yes এটা বললো জানকী দেবী আর রুক্মিণী দেবী এই লক্ষ্মী হ্যাঁ লক্ষ্মী তারপর তো লক্ষ্মী everybody heard
Yes.
সবাই শুনেছেন
Yes.
how about you
Goddess of fortune descended as Rukmini, Lakshmi.
everybody can hear
No.
no no
Goddess of fortune was descended as Rukmini, Sita, no? And descended as Lakshmi.
yes everybody heard yes everybody can remember now say you can understand
Very difficult.
কি বলতে পারবে কি বললো
মানে জানকী দেবী মানে মহারানী সীতা যিনি রামচন্দ্রের পত্নী ছিলেন ত্রেতা যুগে উনি রুক্মিণী দেবী হিসেবে এসেছিলেন দাপর যুগে শ্রীকৃষ্ণের পত্নী হিসেবে
হ্যাঁ
আর চৈতন্য দেবের পত্নী হিসেবে উনি এসেছেন লক্ষ্মীপ্রিয়া দেবী হিসেবে
বুঝলেন
একজন ত্রেতা দাপর করি
দুজনই
যেভাবে বললে কষ্ট বোঝা যাচ্ছে না চাইলে সোজা বলো বলো লক্ষ্মী দেবী কে এখন যে লক্ষ্মী দেবী মহাপুরুষ এলেন উনি কে আগে
উনি হচ্ছেন ত্রেতা যুগের
প্লিজ ডোন্ট
ত্রেতা যুগের যিনি জানকী দেবী এবং দাপর যুগের যিনি আমাদের রুক্মিণী দেবী তিনি এসেছেন গডেস অফ ফরচুন হিসাবে
Saying that first she was তিনি লিখে
হ্যাঁ।
ঠিক
Okay. সবাই শুনেছেন? হ্যাঁ? Everybody heard? Very serious. Yeah?
So, Lakshmi Priya, the wife of Mahaprabhu, before she was enjoying Vishnu as Rukmini, and before also a wife of Vishnu in form of Ramachandra, Sita Devi.
Everybody heard? Yes. Very well. Go ahead.
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Proganda Lilar Sutra Koriye Ganan, Proganda Bayase Prabhur Mukha Uddhayan.
1 minute, everybody. So all this hearing, Lakshmi is Rukmini. Who is the Adda Shakti? Who is the original Lord's? Everybody heard? Yes. Everybody say yes. I think we can. Okay. Yeah.
Let me now enumerate the activities of the Lord between the ages 5 and 10. His chief occupation during this period was to engage himself in study. Progandalila Chaitanya Krishna Shati Suvistrita Vidyarambha Mukha Pani Grahananta Manohara. The pastimes of the Lord during his Poganda age was very extensive. His education was his chief occupation, and after that, his very beautiful marriage took place. Gangadas Pandit Sthane Poren Bakaran Shravan Matre Kanthe Koila Sutra Vittigan.
So what is, who is Gangadas Pandit? Listen to Divine. Huh? Teacher. Huh? Teaching, he's going there to learn. Just before what is there, it's mentioned. You should remember, that is the check.
When the Lord was studying grammar at the place of Gangadas Pandit, he would immediately learn grammatical rules and definitions by heart simply by hearing them once. Purport. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the Lord was given lessons by a teacher named Vishnu and another teacher named Sudarshan. Later on, when he was a little grown up, he was under the care of Gangadas Pandit, who taught him grammar of a higher standard. Anyone serious about studying the Sanskrit language should first learn grammar. It is said that simply to finish studying Sanskrit grammar takes at least 12 years. But once one learns the grammatical rules and regulations very nicely, all other scriptures or subject matters in Sanskrit are extremely easy to understand. So Sanskrit grammar is the gateway to education. অল্পকালে হইলা পঞ্জি টিকাতে প্রবীণ চিরকালের পড়ুয়া জিনে হইয়া নবীন. He soon became so expert in commenting on the Panji Tika that he could win victory over all the other students, although he was a neophyte.
Anybody can tell that one Goswami wrote a grammar of Sanskrit. That every word more or less, most of the words are with relation to Krishna's name. What is the name of that grammar?
Harinama
Harinama
Vyakaran.
Vyakaran. in Amamrita, you find most of the words, the name of Lord.
Prabhupada also Bhagavad Gita, everywhere, devotional service, Krishna.
That means. Okay.
Purport, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there was a commentary on grammar named Panjitika that was later explained very lucidly by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. অধ্যয়ন লীলা প্রভুর দাস বৃন্দাবন চৈতন্য মঙ্গলে কইল বিস্তারি বর্ণন. In his book Chaitanya Mangal, which later became the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has very elaborately described the Lord's pastimes of study. Purport, the Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda, chapter 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 are a good reference for the studious pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Vrindavan Das Thakur is called the big.
Yes.
Vyasa.
একদিন মাতার পদে করিয়া প্রণাম প্রভু কহে মাতা মোরে দেহ এক দান. One day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down at the feet of his mother and requested her to give him one thing in charity. মাতা বলে তাই দিব যা তুমি মাগিবে প্রভু কহে একাদশীতে অন্ন না খাইবে. His mother replied, my dear son, I will give you whatever you ask. Then the Lord said, my dear mother, please do not eat grains on the Ekadashi day. Purport, from the very beginning of his childhood life, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the system of observing a fast on the Ekadashi day. In the Bhakti Sandarbha by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is a quotation from the Skanda Puran admonishing that a person who eats grains on Ekadashi becomes a murderer of his mother, father, brother and spiritual master, and even if he elevated to a Vaikuntha planet, he falls down. On Ekadashi, everything is cooked for Vishnu, including regular grains and dal, but it is enjoined that a Vaishnava should not even take Vishnu Prasadam on Ekadashi. It is said that a Vaishnava does not accept anything eatable that is not offered to Lord Vishnu, but on Ekadashi, a Vaishnava should not touch even Mahaprasadam offered to Vishnu, although such prasadam may be kept for being eaten the next day. It is strictly forbidden for one to accept any kind of grains on Ekadashi, even if it is offered to Lord Vishnu. Shochi kahe na khaibo bhaloi kohila, sei hoite Ekadashi korite lagila. Mother Sachi said, you have spoken very nicely. I shall not eat grains on Ekadashi. From that day, she began to observe fasting on Ekadashi. It is prejudice among Smarta Brahmanas that a widow must observe fasting on Ekadashi, but a woman who is a Sadhava, who has her husband, should not. It appears that before Lord Chaitanya's request, Sachimata, being Sadhava, was not observing Ekadashi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, introduced the system that a woman, even if not a widow, must observe the Ekadashi day and must not touch any kind of grains, even those offered to the deity of Vishnu. তবে মিশ্র বিশ্বরূপের দেখিয়া যৌবন কন্যা চাহি বিবাহ দিতে করিলেন মন.
You should remember, sometimes some tirtha, the police, people, especially resident, the devotees sometimes, they say, we are beyond all these rules and regulations. So, if we are in Jagannath Dham, you don't have to. It so happens that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, they brought prasad. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, respect, wait on the one, and go on chanting. Till next day, when the Paran time, then we can. So we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How much they say, we should not take this advantage, we will make then commit over. Is that clear?
Yes.
অনেক সময় জগন্নাথ থেকে অনেক ধামেও এরকম আছে বলে কি আমরা এইসব নিয়ম কানুনের ঊর্ধ্বে এই ধামের মধ্যে এইসব নেই ভগবান লিভার জগন্নাথ we should not follow that because Prabhupada Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us this once they brought prasad somewhere else and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said go on chanting pay obeisance to prasad not depend on Jagannath and you go on chanting till the Paran came next day, you take prasad. Yeah. You are following a Chaitanya and you have some question.
Thereafter, seeing that Vishwarupa was grown-up youth, Jagannath Mishra wanted to find a girl and arrange a marriage ceremony for him. Vishwarup shuni ghar chhari palaila, সন্ন্যাস করিয়া তীর্থ করিবারে গেলা।
Where did you go? Anybody know?
Underpur.
You've gone to Pandarpur, anybody?
Yes.
Like
Hearing of this, Vishwarup immediately left home and went away to accept sannyas and travel from one place of pilgrimage to another. শুনি শচী মিশ্রের দুঃখী হইল মন, তবে প্রভু মাতা পিতার কইল আশ্বাসন। When Shachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra heard of the departure of their elder son, Vishwarupa, they were very unhappy, but Lord Chaitanya tried to console them. ভালো হইল বিশ্বরূপ সন্ন্যাস করিল, পিতৃকুল মাতৃকুল দুই উদ্ধারিল। My dear mother and father, the Lord said, it is very good that Vishwarup has accepted the sannyas order, for thus he has delivered both his father's family and his mother's family. Purport. It is sometimes said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disapproved of the acceptance of the sannyas order in this Kali Yuga because in the Shastra it is said, Ashwamedham Gavarambam Sannyasam Kalapatrikam Devarena Sutatpatim Kalu Pancho Vivarjayet.
these 5 things are forbidden. What are these 5 things? Who can tell each of them one? No?
Ashwamedha.
Ashwamedh Jagga.
Devarena Sutatpatim. Devarer দ্বারা সন্তান।
Sannyas.
And then?
Eating meat.
Huh?
Eating meat. Meat eating.
Meat eating.
সাথে মাংস আর করা যাবে না আর দেবরকে বিয়ে করা যাবে না।
Pasta হয়েছে?
No.
না হয়নি। Pasta হয়নি?
Ashwamedha and the other one. The
Ashwamedha.
no, cow.
Cow sacrifice.
Cow sacrifice.
Gomed Jagga. Ashwamedh, Gomed. So who can tell all the 5? Yes? Slowly. Tell. All the 5.
Cannot take sannyas is forbidden.
Everybody can hear? Yes?
Sannyas is forbidden in Kali Yuga, and one cannot marry
Deva, his
the husband's brother, and
Today. On the beginning, at the rest.
go with
Go.
Ashwamedha Yajna, marrying one's brother, have sacrifice, sannyas, and
Offering meat to
শ্রাদ্ধে
forefathers.
মাংসাহার করা যাবে।
Offering meat to forefathers.
Offering meat to forefather.
হ্যাঁ,
Sir.
হ্যাঁ, শ্রাদ্ধে।
Yeah? Everybody heard? Can you remember all the five? Yes, Lali. What are these five?
Offering meat to the forefathers, marrying your husband's brother,
Ah.
taking sannyas, ashwamedha yagya, and go offering a cow and sacrifice.
Right. Everybody heard? Yes?
Yes.
Teacher? Everybody can hear?
রাতে মাংস দেওয়া যাবে না, কলিযুগে সন্ন্যাস নেওয়া যাবে না, দেওয়ারকে বিয়ে করা যাবে না, অশ্বমেধ এবং গোমের যজ্ঞ করা যাবে না।
অশ্বমেধ যজ্ঞ করা যাবে না, গোমের যজ্ঞ করা যাবে না, সন্ন্যাস নেওয়া যাবে না, নিজের দেওয়ারকে বিয়ে বিবাহ করা যাবে না, সাথে ফোরফাদারের জন্য মাংস অর্পণ করা যাবে না।
সবাই শুনেছেন? Everybody heard? সবাই শুনেছেন? তুমি একবার শুনিয়ে দাও।
অশ্বমেধ যজ্ঞ করা যাবে না, গোমের যজ্ঞ করা যাবে না, সন্ন্যাস নেওয়া যাবে না, দেবরকে বিয়ে করা যাবে না,
মাংস। হ্যাঁ, সবাই তাহলে শুনেছেন? Everybody heard? Yes? Hey, Krishna. Jai Krishna. Please tell.
One should not accept sannyas.
Anybody can hear? You can tell? What is can tell?
Accepting sannyas, offerings to the forefathers,
Everybody can hear? Please loud.
sorry, accepting sannyas, offerings to the forefathers, animal sacrifice, and marrying. I don't know how I would marry a brother. I suppose it would be a brother's wife.
I don't promise.
Animal sacrifice.
বাকিটা কি বলো তুমি?
Cow sacrifice করা যাবে না, আর ashwamedha yagya করা যাবে না।
বাকিটা বলেছি? Good, thank you. আর বলার প্রয়োজন নেই, আশা করি সবাই মনে আছে। হ্যাঁ, এই ললিতা তুই কি করছিস? ঘুমাচ্ছিস? বল।
Offering meat to your forefathers, taking sannyas, marrying your husband's brother, ashwamedha yagya, gomen.
তাই বলেছি না? Thank you. Well done.
In this age of Kali, 5 facts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyas, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and the man's begetting children in his brother's wife. Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Krishna Janma Khanda. Nevertheless, we see that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself accepted sannyas and approved of the sannyas of his elder brother Vishwarup. It is clearly said here, Bhalo hoilo, Vishwarup sannyaso korilo, Pitrukul Matrikul dui uddharilo. Therefore, should it be thought that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made statements that are contradictory? No, actually he did not. It is recommended that one accepts sannyas to dedicate his life for the service of the Lord, and everyone must take that kind of sannyas. For by accepting such sannyas, one renders the best service to both his paternal and maternal families. But one should not accept the sannyas order of the Mayavad school, which has practically no meaning. We find many Mayavadi sannyasi simply loitering in the street, thinking themselves Brahma or Narayan. and spending all day and night begging so they can fill their hungry bellies. Mayavadi sannyasis have become so degraded that there is a section of them who eat everything just like hogs and dogs. It is such degraded sannyas that is prohibited in this age. Actually, Srila Shankaracharya principles for the acceptance of sannyas were very strict, but later so-called Mayavadi sannyasis became degraded because of their false philosophy, which propounds that by accepting sannyas one becomes Narayana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that kind of sannyas, but the acceptance of sannyas is one of the items of the Varnashram Dharma. How then can it be rejected? আমি তো করিব তোমা দুহার সেবন শুনিয়া সন্তুষ্ট হইল পিতা মাতার মন. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assured his parents that he would serve them, and thus the minds of his father and mother were satisfied. একদিন নৈবদ্য তাম্বুল খাইয়া ভূমিতে পড়িলা প্রভু অচেতন হইয়া. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate betel nuts offered to the deity, but they acted as an intoxicant, and he fell down on the ground unconscious. Purport: betel nuts are an intoxicant, and therefore the regulative principles prohibit eating them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime of fainting after eating betel nuts is a solid instruction to all of us that one should not touch betel nuts, even those offered to Vishnu, just as one should not touch grains on the ekadashi day. Of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's fainting had a particular purpose. As a Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can do whatever he likes and eat whatever he wants, but we should not imitate his pastimes. আস্তে ব্যস্তে পিতা মাতা মুখে দিল পানি সুস্থ হইয়া কহে প্রভু অপূর্ব কাহিনী. After his father and mother sprinkled water on his mouth with great haste, the Lord revived and said something wonderful they had never heard before. এথা হইতে বিশ্বরূপ মোরে লইয়া গেলা সন্ন্যাস করহ তুমি আমারে কহিলা. The Lord said, Vishwarup took me away from here, and he requested me to accept sannyas order. আমি কহি আমার অনাথ পিতা মাতা আমি বালক সন্ন্যাসের কিবা জানি কথা. I replied to Vishwarup, I have my helpless father and mother, and also I am but a child. What do I know about the sannyas order of life? গৃহস্থ হইয়া করিব পিতা মাতার সেবন ভাতেই তুষ্ট হবেন লক্ষ্মী নারায়ণ. Later I shall become a householder and thus serve my parents. For this action will very much satisfy Lord Narayana and his wife, the goddess of fortune. তবে বিশ্বরূপ ইহা পাঠাইল মোরে মাতাকে কহিও কোটি কোটি নমস্কারে. Then Vishwarup returned me home and requested, offer thousands and thousands of obeisances unto my mother Sachi Devi. এই মত নানা লীলা করে গৌর হরি কি কারণে লীলা ইহা বুঝিতে না পারি. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed various pastimes, but why he did so, I cannot understand. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees who come to this world are executing a mission, and therefore sometimes they act in a way that is very difficult to understand. It is said, therefore, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Bhikke na Bujha. Even if one is a very learned and intelligent scholar, he cannot understand the activities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava accepts anything favorable for executing his mission. But foolish persons not knowing the purpose of such exalted Vaishnavas, indulge in criticizing them. That is forbidden. Since no one can understand what a Vaishnava does for the purpose of executing his mission, to criticize such Vaishnava is the offense called sadhu ninda. কতদিন রহি মিশ্র গেলা পরলোক মাতা পুত্র দুহার বাড়িল হৃদি শোক. After some days, Jagannath Mishra passed away from this world to the transcendental world, and both mother and son were very much aggrieved in their hearts. বন্ধু বান্ধব আসি দুহা প্রভু দিলা পিতা পিতৃক্রিয়া বিধি মতে ঈশ্বর করিল. Friends and relatives came there to pacify Lord Chaitanya and his mother. Then Lord Chaitanya, even though he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, executed his rituals for his dead father according to the Vedic system. কতদিনে প্রভু চিত্তে করিলা চিন্তন গৃহস্থ হইলাম এবে চাহি গৃহধর্ম. After some days the Lord thought, I did not take sannyas, and since I am remaining at home, it is my duty to act as a grihastha. গৃহিণী বিনা গৃহধর্ম না হয় শোভন এত চিন্তে বিবাহ করিতে হইল মন. Without a wife, Lord Chaitanya considered, there is no meaning to householder life. Thus the Lord decided to marry. No griham grihinittahul grihini grihamucchate taya hi shavita sarvan purusharthan samusmute. Merely a house is not a home, for it is a wife who gives a home its meaning. If one lives at home with his wife, together they can fulfill all the interests of human life. দৈবে একদিন প্রভু পড়িয়া আসিতে বল্লভাচার্যের কন্যা দেখে গঙ্গা পথে. One day when the Lord was coming back from school, he accidentally saw the daughter of Ballavacharya on the way to the Ganges. পূর্বসিদ্ধ ভাব দুহার উদয় করিল দৈবে বনমালী ঘটক সচি স্থানে আইল. When the Lord and Lakshmi Devi met, their relationship awakened, having already been settled, and coincidentally, the marriage maker Banamali came to see Sochi Mata. Purport: Banamali Ghatok, a resident of Navadvip and a Brahmana by caste, arranged the marriage of the Lord to Lakshmi Devi, who was formerly Vishwamitra, who negotiated the marriage of Lord Ramachandra, and later he was the Brahmana who negotiated the marriage of Lord Krishna with Rukmini. That same Brahmana acted as the marriage maker of the Lord in Chaitanya Lila. Sochiro ingite sambandho gorilo ghaton Lokkhike vibaho koilo Sochiro nandan. Following the invitation of Sochi Devi, Banamali Ghatok arranged the marriage, and thus in due course the Lord married Lakshmi Devi. Vistariya bonile taha Vrindavan das Eito Proganda Lilar Sutra Prakash. Vrindavan Das Thakur has elaborately described all these pastimes of the Lord's early age. What I have given is but a condensed presentation of the same pastimes. Poganda boyose lila bohuto prakar Vrindavan Das iha koriyachen bistar. The Lord performed many varieties of pastimes in his early age, and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has described them elaborately. অতএব দিত্তাত্র ইহা দেখাইল চৈতন্য মঙ্গলে সর্বলোকে খ্যাত হইল. I have given but a single hint of these pastimes, for Vrindavan Das Thakur in his book Chaitanya Mangal, now Chaitanya Bhagavat, has described them all vividly. Shrirupa Raghunath Pade Jare Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps.
You want to continue right now or want some change of chanting? Who want now for a chanting? Raise hand. Otherwise, you want your home. Yes?
Yes.
Chapter 16, the pastimes of the Lord in his childhood and youth. This chapter fully describes Lord Chaitanya's Koishor Lila, or the activities he performed just before attaining youth. During this time, he studied deeply and was victorious over greatly learned scholars. During his Koishor Lila, the Lord also sported in the water. He went to East Bengal to secure financial assistance, cultivate knowledge and introduce the Sankirtan movement. And there he met Tapan Mishra, whom he instructed about spiritual advancement and ordered to go to Varanasi. While Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring East Bengal, his wife Lakshmi Devi was bitten by a serpent, or by the serpent of separation, and thus she left the world. When the Lord returned home, he saw that his mother was overwhelmed with grief because of Lakshmi Devi's death. Therefore, at her request, he later married his second wife, Vishnupriya Devi. This chapter also describes the Lord's argument with Keshav Kashmiri, the celebrated scholar, and the Lord's criticism of his prayer glorifying Mother Ganges. In this prayer, the Lord found five kinds of literary ornaments and 5 kinds of literary faults, thus defeating the Pandit. Later, the Kashmiri Pandit, who was known to have been victorious all over the country, submitted himself to the goddess of learning, and by her order, he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the morning of the next day and surrendered unto him. Kripa Shudha Sharirjasya Vishwa Maplavayantapi Nicho Goiro Sada Bhati Tam Chaitanya Prabhum Bhaje. I worship Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose nectarian mercy flows like a great river, inundating the entire universe, just as a river flows downstream. Lord Chaitanya especially extends himself to the fallen. Purport. Narottam Das Thakur has sung Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. He prays for Lord Chaitanya's mercy because he is the mercy incarnation, having appeared especially to reclaim the fallen souls. The more fallen one is, the greater one's claim to the favor of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo. Anybody can tell after that what? Raise hand. Very good. Everybody heard? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Samavina Ekadashi. Poti ko pavan hetu. Is teaching us what should be our mood. Great devotee, he is not fallen, but we are fallen. He is taking the role of conditions of teacher. That should be our mood. Usually when you come to the material world, everybody wants to be, I am great. Nana is not, I am greater. Nana is not, this is material world. Yes? Yes. That is Lord over material nature. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you want to know God? Tina Lopi Sunicha. I am lowest. Not saying, lip service. Lip service is very simple. Somebody said to Prabhupada, yes, I am. Prabhupada said, no, you don't think like that. You are just saying. With action speaks. This English and action speaks louder than words. Your behavior tells. Yes? You are how you behave. Yes? Okay, please.
The more fallen one is, the greater one's claim to the favor of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One must only be very sincere and serious. Despite being contaminated by all the bad qualities of this Kali Yuga, if one surrenders unto the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord will surely and certainly deliver him. The best example is Jagai and Madhai. In this age of Kali, practically everyone is like Jagai and Madhai. But the Sankirtana movement inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still flowing like a great river, inundating the entire world. And thus, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is successfully claiming all fallen souls to free them from contamination.
You see, even the leaders throughout the world, they are also addicted to this fourth thing, eating meat, drinking, womanizing,
Gambling.
gambling, all this. Yes, it's common everywhere, every India. Other countries. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed, and ISKCON is doing another conversation. And thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire is being fulfilled. Simply chanting, I am sitting with devotees giving up. But if you turn fast, no this, you will down. So Prabhupada didn't tell all these things. That you have to do this. He said, you like this prasad? Yes, only take this. Yes? Then you take it. Okay, then that way. Later on he'll tell you. And that is the movement spreading so fast. Like epidemic, pandemic, pandemic. This is COVID is planning, real pandemic is Hare Krishna movement. Yeah? Yes. That is positive. Okay.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
So we
Nityananda.
should take this opportunity, everybody. Do some service and get so much blessing from the Lord. Here is the opportunity, nothing for all of us.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, all glories to all devotees of the Lord. Jiyat Koishara Chaitanya Murti Motta Grihasramat Lakshar Chito Hato Bhagdevo Dishang Jayat Shalat. Long live Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Koishar age. Both the goddess of fortune and the goddess of learning worshipped him. The goddess of learning, Saraswati, worshipped him in his victory over the scholar who had conquered all the world, and the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, worshipped him at home. Since he is therefore the husband or lord of both goddesses, I offering my obeisances unto him. Eito Koishor Lila Sutra Anubandha Shishyagan Paraite Korila Arambha. At the age of 11, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to teach students. This marks the beginning of his Koishor age. Shata Shata Shishya Sange Sada Adhapan Bhakha Shuni Sarva Loker Chamakitamon. As soon as the Lord became a teacher, many students came to him, every one of them astonished to hear his mode of explanation. সর্বশাস্ত্রে সর্বপণ্ডিত পাই পরাজয় বিনয় ভঙ্গিতে কারো দুঃখ নাহি হয়. The Lord defeated all kinds of scholars in discourses about all the scriptures. Yet, because of his gentle behavior, none of them were unhappy. বিবিধ উদ্ধত্ত করে শিষ্যগণ সঙ্গে জাহ্নবীতে জলকেলি করে নানা রঙ্গে। The Lord as a teacher performed various kinds of pranks in his sporting pastimes in the water of Ganges. কতদিনে কইল প্রভু বঙ্গেতে গমন, যাহা যায় তাহা লওয়ায় নাম সংকীর্তন। After some days, the Lord went to East Bengal, and wherever he went, he introduced the Sankirtan movement. But although Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotee in disciplic succession can defeat all kinds of learned scholars, scientists, and philosophers in arguments, thus establishing the supremacy of the personality of Godhead, their main business as a preachers is to introduce Sankirtan everywhere. Simply to defeat scholars and philosophers is not the occupation of a preacher. Preachers must simultaneously introduce the Sankirtan movement, for that is the mission of Chaitanya cult. বিদ্যার প্রভাব দেখি চমৎকার চিতে, শত শত পড়ুয়া আসি লাগিলা পড়িতে। Struck with wonder by the influence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intellectual prowess, many hundreds of students came to the Lord and began studying under his direction. সেই দেশে বিপ্রনাম মিশ্র তপন, নিশ্চয় করিতে নারে সাধ্য সাধন। In East Bengal, there was a Brahmana named Tapan Mishra who could not ascertain the objective of life or how to attain it. But one must first ascertain the object of life and then understand how to attain it. The Krishna consciousness movement is pointing out to everyone that the object of life is to understand Krishna, and to attain that goal of life, one must practice Krishna consciousness, following the methods prescribed by the Goswamis with reference to the authoritative Shastras and Vedas. বহু শাস্ত্রে বহু বাক্যে চিত্তে ভ্রম হয়, সাধ্য সাধন শ্রেষ্ঠ না হয় নিশ্চয়। If one becomes a bookworm, reading many books and scriptures and hearing many commentaries and the instructions of many men, this will produce doubt within his heart. One cannot in this way ascertain the real goal of life. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Granthannoiva prashet bohun navakyam upayojita. One should not read many books, nor should one try to make a profession of rejecting many books. One should not read many books, nor should one try to make a profession of reciting many books, especially if one is a devotee. One must give up the ambition to be a learned scholar, and in this way earn a worldly reputation, the financial facilities. If one diverts his attention to studying many books, he cannot fix his mind in devotional service, nor can he understand many scriptures, for they are full of grave statements and meanings. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives his opinion that those who attracted to studying many kinds of literature concerning various subject matters, especially fruitive activities and philosophical speculation, are deprived of unalloyed devotional service because of their splayed attention. Man has a general tendency towards
What do you mean splayed? Splayed attention.
Spread
Isn't
out.
it?
It means spread.
Oh, splayed.
Splayed.
Spelling
Spelling, please.
SPLAYED.
divided.
Check.
Spread out and apart.
Apart.
The rice was splayed across the floor. The rice was splayed across the floor.
Adjective.
Adjective.
Your example?
The cheese was plain on the bread.
Oh.
So many places instead of one.
Cheese.
It's saying especially of limbs or fingers. Like half of the crowd was watching through splayed fingers.
Understood everybody? Yes?
Man has a general tendency toward fruitive activities, religious ritualistic ceremonies, and philosophical speculation. A living entity thus bewildered since time immemorial does not understand the real goal of life, and thus his activities in life are wasted. Innocent persons misled in this way are deprived of unalloyed Krishna Bhakti, devotional service to the Lord. Tapan Mishra is a vivid example of such a person. He was a learned scholar, but he could not ascertain what the goal of life is. Therefore, he was given a chance to hear Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructing Sanatana Goswami. Lord Chaitanya's instruction to Tapan Mishra is especially significant for persons who loiter here and there, collecting books and reading none of them, thus becoming bewildered regarding the aim of life.
So now 7:15. Shall we have some chanting?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
How many saying yes? Please raise your hand. Most of them. Go ahead.
One question
Question?
regarding this topic. They are saying that reading too much books is not good. Then is it not for the Prabhupada books? Is for the mundane books or the various, not the disciplined successor books? Maybe.
Because reading too much books not good. This does not apply to Prabhupada's books.
Because this sometimes this devotee also says, if a devotee is sometimes argue with another devotee, you read too much. But he reading his Prabhupada books and he is giving the example from Prabhupada books.
Now, suppose you are eating and you are not digesting.
Yes.
Digest that much you read. But not read other books unless you finish Prabhupada. Understand?
That's mean Prabhupada books is always in the. It is not that excessive level. It is not always under control.
উন্মেষ বলছেন হজম যতটুকু করতে হবে ততটুকু করো, প্রভুপাদ বই পড়ো কিন্তু সব পড়ার দরকার নেই, প্রভুপাদ যতটুকু হজম করতে পারো আস্তে আস্তে পড়ো, কিন্তু সাথে সাথে বাইরের বইও পড়ার দরকার নেই।
এমনকি বৈষ্ণবদের আমরা বইও আছে অন্য আচার্য, আমি প্রবাদ বই বুঝি, তারপরে প্রবাদ চেতাই যাই Another question. Yang is running out.
If Mahaprabhu is
Is
combining
it very well?
Yeah.
This way what we are
first
doing.
topic. Mahaprabhu is a combination of Radha Krishna. So why he has a wife of Narayana?
Why Narayan?
Yeah, Vishnu.
What is the difference between Narayan and Krishna? Same person. Are not the same person? Narayan and Krishna, what is the difference? Slight difference.
Yeah, different rasa, yeah.
So Narayan Krishna is Lakshmi is there, Narayan.
Maybe
And
that's why
Radharani
she
is
was so
Radharani is the source of our, or other Lakshmis. Jagashik is the same. What is the difference? For common people it is not different. For the devotees at once it's subtly different.
But they like to see four-handed when
What?
when Rukmini painted, Krishna showed her four-handed form, she was so happy.
This is too much now. This is out of context. So our goal is Radha Krishna. So the gopis are the highest. They don't like Narayan, they saw, they don't want Krishna. There is Krishna, they have got more intimate. So they don't care Narayan. But common people don't get it. And also for the beginner. Please try. Let us really check the text. And then we relax. This is the aspect. You'll get confused.
Gauranga tumi more daya na chariyo Gauranga
Oh
जय कलियुग धर्मानी नाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री सुभाग परमहंस पतिव्रता आचार्य सुंदर शिशिमार इंग्लिश स्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम विश्वभाग परमहंस पतिव्रता आचार्य सुंदर शिशिमार इंग्लिश शिला भक्ति विधान स्वामी श्री गुरुपाद की जय। संत गौरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमोचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री गौरी कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी महारानी की श्रील प्रभुपाद चंद्र संकल्प बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्रियंका की हरे कृष्ण मंत्र की सामित गौर भक्तवृंद की ताई गौर प्रेमानंद गौर गौरी स्थिर संबंधी होती गौर गौरी स्थिर संबंधी होती गौर गौरी स्थिर संबंधी होती गौर गौरी श्री गुरु श्री गौरंगा गौरी श्री भगवान श्री गुरु महाराज की जय।
हरे कृष्ण। The one is show taking mercy of the Lord in the form of prasada.